it's Brian with GreyWolf Towers again. So today's video is going to be on this case here. This is a MUSETEX Y6. That's all I really got on that. It is a no RGB, 3 fans included, white case for this specific model. This one is actually because I'm upgrading my wife. She can hear in the other room. So this case is going to go to her. I'm going to rebuild some stuff and put it in here. That aside, this case, there we go. This case was on Amazon for, I believe, around $80 or $90 before tax. It had a coupon, however, that with tax I ended up spending like 75 bucks on it. Now, I live in an area that tax is going to be different than yours, most likely. Some people have no tax. Some people have really high tax. As far as tax goes, ours is currently 6 3/4%. So with tax at 6 3/4%, 6.75%, it came to $74 and change. So if that helps you out, it was $69.99 before tax, something like that. So, all right. Bear with me, my back is not in good shape. Long time injuries to the back and everything, it just made it difficult. So bear with me as I do this. All right. I do like that it's foam instead of styrofoam, so that's nice. Magnetic dust covers on the top. It's flexible, like I said, it's foam as opposed to styrofoam, and it does have some cardboard here to make it like harder in that area. It's not even cardboard actually, it's a different type of foam. So it's just sturdier foam. That's kind of cool. But all the corners seem to have that, so that's cool. Now, this here is the dust cover on the top, and it goes into a little groove or channel. I'm going to be honest, I really like it. It looks nice. On the front, you've got the power button, reset button, audio jack, just single jack, so it probably has an adapter in there for like a headset. It has a USB-C down below, a USB 3, and then it looks like USB 2. So you get three USB ports on the front for a variety of stuff. On the back, you've got your normal setup. It does not have a riser, so you only have the horizontal. You do not have the vertical mounts here. So you would need an extra kit of some kind to do that. I'm not sure, because I did not see one listed. I'm not sure if there is one available. This is what we have. For her GPU that we're putting in, it'll actually be really cool. Her GPU is kind of weird when it comes to the RGB. There is some on the front when you're looking at the fans, and then there's some on the top where like the logos are. But when you're sitting it when you're sitting it horizontally instead of vertically, on the back plate there is a logo that is RGB, which you cannot see when the card is vertically mounted, but you can see it when it's horizontally mounted. So that works out really well in this instance. So I'm actually kind of glad that it's not like the Y70 where it's a forced vertical mount. So that, for now, that's good. Later we may have to exchange cases or something, but for now we're good. And overall, it's squared off. Some people will love that, some people will hate that. I understand. Two cases on the side, or two case fans on the side that should be bringing air. Those look like they're out. I'm gonna have to reverse those. So I'll have to have those reversed when I go in and set everything up, but those are blowing that way, which I want them blowing this way. And then we've got a fan in the rear that's blowing it out. So basically it's blowing it this way, and we don't want that. We want it to be kind of going this way, so that it's all coming in fresh, going out, hot, and that way it's circulating as opposed to being dispersed harshly. We will be putting probably two fans up top to blow out, so it'll still blow this direction, but it will also go out, so we'll have extra ventilation. Those will be 140 millimeter fans, so I'll put probably one here, one here. These look like they're 120s, but there's some gaps, so should fit 140s, but I don't know for sure. The rear should definitely hold 140s because it's got two sets of grooves here and here, so it's two sets that are using the inside, so the outsides are still available and they're slightly apart, so that should be 120 and 140 millimeters. So you should be able to change it if you wanted something larger to force more air that direction. Honestly, I wouldn't. I'd just keep it as a 120. Maybe RGB if you want to go RGB. This is going to be an interesting build to say the least for me. I don't normally do white builds in the house for a variety of reasons. So this will be fun. The innards will be dark. So it'll be a grayish silver graphics card. It will be a black motherboard. The CPU cooler will be white. The RAM will be black. Most of the wiring is going to be black. So the case by itself, we've got the cover up top that's magnetic. We've got the side panel. Now, alright, so it pops off here, slides up, and that gives us access. And it is capable of a ATX motherboard. You do have mounts on the bottom, which are covered by a magnetic cover for the vents. It can handle up to 3 120s or 2 140s if I remember correctly. So there is space down below to have air coming from the bottom up through. For this specific one, we'll probably not do that. There we go. Pull this off. And lots of space in here for cable management. Like I said, these fans are facing the wrong direction for us. They are facing so that the air is going back this way. Some people might like that. If you were putting this up against a wall, maybe that would be better so that it could hit the wall and disperse upwards and everything. For our case, it's going to actually be sitting in an open area where this is going to be up against a wall, so the air coming out here and going up from the wall is fine. But over here, it would blow into a walkway, which isn't really an issue because it's not going to do anything that way. But the walkway is going to have colder air, so I want the air coming in to be cold. So I'm going to have those flipped around, so it won't look quite as nice on the fans, but because these are not reversed fans. But I will go ahead and do that. It looks like they are not PWM fans, which means that they will either run full speed or not at all. There isn't like an adjustment that goes, oh, we're going to run 75% because the case is too warm, or we're going to run 30% because the case is getting warm but not warm enough. It's just 100%, 0%. That's it. So there is that. There are some adapters that you can buy that you can like manually adjust with a remote or a switch or things like that, but I'm not going to bother with that. If anything, I'll just end up replacing them. I, however, do see the mounts on this side. It is 120s only. It will not run 140s. So do keep that in mind. There are 120s, 2 fans on that area. You can swap them out with other ones pretty easily from the looks of it. One screw's a little bit behind some cables up up here. This one here is a little bit behind some cables, but you can still easily get to it. But other than that, it's just 4 screws for each fan like any other fan, and you pop it out, put in a new one, and off you go. The system does have in the case some Velcro straps for the channel guide here to keep it looking nice and straight. That is awesome. They're reusable straps that are nice quality. They're a little thin, but they're nice. So it's not like they went super cheap. They just didn't go super expensive luxury. But it's, again, a 70, 80 buck case. I don't expect that. There is a fan splitter in place, so that's fine for this scenario. It'll be perfect. There's no issues there, but some people will want splitters, some people won't. Some people will need them, some people won't. There is, in the top corner here, right here, there's a tray for a 3.5 inch drive. So you can fit one 3.5 inch drive. I don't see any mounts for SATA. Oh, hey, I take that back. 2 3.5 inch drive. No. I'm going to wager those are SATA drive. They're not 3.5 inch. When in doubt, trust the guide here. Theoretically 2 hard drives, but you can also mount SSDs in there. One has a side mount to the spot where you saw the screws. The other one would need an adapter, and there does not seem to be one included. So you would need to purchase that separately. However, you can use these here, these 4 screw holes, to mount an SSD directly to it, or even a hard drive if the screws line up, but I don't think they will on that. But a hard drive will slide into it there, and another one behind that. So theoretically, up to 2 3.5 inch drives could fit. Otherwise, a 3.5 inch mount for a SSD would allow you to mount 2 SSDs in there. However, I'm going to be honest, we really have no significant need for this in these computers. These are gaming / personal computers. They're used for photo editing, video editing, accessing a server that has the storage space, things along those lines. So it's not going to be anything vital. So that's probably not going to even be used. I'm probably just going to rip out her old drive and not even use it. This would be the bag of screws. So they're silver screws, which is fine for a white case, and then some white zip ties, which is nice. If there was a glass panel on this side, that would be really, really important. That is, by the way, all that's in this box is the screws and the directions booklet. So we'll go ahead and put that all back. And like I said, it's the screws match perfectly fine because it's a white case. You don't need black screws. If it were a black case, you would want black screws so that it didn't like shine inside and make a difference. With this case panel over, if the fans were RGB, you would see that. If the power supply had an RGB fan in it, you would see that. With the setup that we're going with, those items are not going to be an issue. They're neither good or bad on that. So you would see RGB coming through these sections if you use those items. If not, then fine. But you're not going to see the zip ties that are used because you have the solid stuff blocking where those cables are mostly going to be run. So the cable ties being white doesn't really matter. The screws being silver helps a little bit, but not really going to matter in the end. But it's a nice thing they didn't go with black ones, just because those would look a little odd. So snaps into place. I love that. You saw how easy it was for me to do. It's nice. A little stiff to get it out, but that's good because it means it's not likely to fall off and shatter. It's pretty easy to put it into place, which is awesome for me. There's tapes, like the little sticky stuff to protect the glass from scratches. On the front, I do not see it on the side, but I think it is as well. I just think that my eyes aren't seeing it. And then there's the little stickers for things like tempered glass, be careful, or sold by MUSETEX, that stuff. So it is overall a very nice looking case, and I think she's gonna love it. Hopefully you heard that, and hopefully you heard that and she didn't. So that is today's video. I do hope that this helps you to decide if this is the right case for you or not. If it did, make sure you hit the like button down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button in this general area over here so you can keep up to date on our new videos and our community section. And as always, if you have any questions about myself, the channel, or the products, make sure you leave those down below in the comments section. I hope that you all have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.